Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Sin Bin. CMB Reggae continues in its quest to bring you the best of reggae in the Mid-Atlantic. While we have principally focused on the Philly, South Jersey, DC, and Virginia Beach reggae scenes, today we reach out of our comfort zone and focus on the New York reggae scene. In any list of current New York reggae artists performing today, our next act is at the top of the list. Signed to the Easy Star Records label alongside greats like the Easy Star All Stars, Jesse Royal, Giant Panda Grill, Dub Squad, Revolution, Protege, The Green, and Sister Carol, just to name a few. Please join me in welcoming Ben Teeters and studio icon and masterful musician Sydney Mills, otherwise known as Sundub. How are you all doing today, gentlemen?
Pretty good, man.
Doing well, Chris. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you for appearing. Okay, so give us a 1 minute elevator pitch. What is Sundub about?
Sundub is Brooklyn reggae. We are an original reggae band based in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm here with our producer Sydney Mills, producer and keyboard player, and we're a female-fronted original reggae group, bringing reggae and soul and a fresh take on music to the world.
Talk to us about the Brooklyn reggae scene. I know the Brooklyners are from Brooklyn, and I know you were there. There's a Long Island scene out there. There's Roots Foundation. There's the Long Island circuit. What the Far East, I believe, is from Brooklyn.
Yep.
Are there any other reggae bands in the Brooklyn area?
Well, they're more like individual artists who's been carrying the torch for a long time. There's a Yasso band with Bojangles was there.
Uh-huh.
There's I can't think of all the names right now, but I mean, there's a steady flow of musicians. But a lot of our individual guys have been around for a long time. You know,
Hmm.
the Screech Dan who also sometimes go Easy
Yeah.
Star.
I say that Brooklyn has and New York has a hyper regional reggae scene.
Yeah.
It's a
Hmm.
they have a ton of artists here in New York and Brooklyn that sort of exist almost just within New York City and
Yeah.
really it's a great
Mhm.
great music scene here, reggae and otherwise.
Yeah, you have guys like
Yeah.
Mr. Easy who's like floated around Jamaica, back in
Hmm.
those kind of guys, so
Yes, I know that
Ireland.
a lot of dancehall artists who consider themselves from Jamaica have gotten houses in the New York area to avoid dealing with work permit constraints. I'm not going to rattle through the whole list
Ireland.
for fear of invading their
There,
privacy,
there are
but
some bands it's good to mention. What's the guy in the Bronx? Dre. And
Oh yeah, Royal
Royal
Chaos.
Chaos. That's a
Royal
great band,
Chaos,
man.
New
New
Kingston, who
Kingston.
is, very
Mhm.
of activity there,
Right.
one of the foundational New
Yeah.
York bands. Even like CCB,
CCB.
bands like
Yeah.
that, the
Yeah.
Cannabis Cup band. Um,
Mhm.
just a ton of musicians down here.
Okay. All right. So where did the name Sundub come from?
So, not the most interesting origin story ever, but Sundub actually started as a local reggae jam session. Actually,
Hmm.
it started technically in Manhattan, and it was on a Sunday. And we were doing mostly dub reggae instrumental covers. So Sunday, Sun Dub was the not
Oh, I
super
see.
exciting people origin story of the name Sun Dub.
So so somebody approached you and just said, "We want you to do dub covers," or
I mean, I went to school in Boston and I moved here to New York and started playing some music with musician friends here of mine. And it just sort of evolved out of our love for music and wanting to perform.
Mhm.
And it's kept evolving to where we are today, which is, a seven-piece band playing all original music where we started as a cover, a jam.
Mhm. Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
So Sundub released our first album of original music in summer of 2019. So we've been performing since really 2017, but 2019 is really when we broke out with the original music and sort of assumed the identity that we're continuing on with now.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I definitely hear that your style is very dub centered, and I have I have a personal love for dub music that is not well, I don't know. I mean, up in the New York State area, it's a lot bigger than it is in the rest of the country. But I'm saying generally, I don't think that type of dub sound is that popular throughout the country, although it's rising. I mean, you have 10-foot ganja plant, you have giant panda gorilla dub squad, you have, I'd say organically good trio does a little bit of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I said, yeah, I was agreeing.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Um, so uh, how I mean, my personal favorite in the dub world is Mad Professor. I listen to a lot of Mad Professor. Um, mm, Listening to it and appreciating it as an art form is one thing, but how do you get on the road to forming that?
Well, it's just it kind of weathers down when the songs are made. And like for us, example, we're now developing a show where we're having the songs are there with Joanna singing the
Mhm.
parts. Then we create little musical scenes out of it. She'll leave the stage and we'll just go into like a dub thing. And it just kind of organically grew into its own thing. There's no plan. It just, at that
Mhm.
vibe hits you, you just come up with that idea and we try to formulate it and keep it uniform, is so much to say. And it just
Mhm.
happens. And we go a lot of the reaction of the audiences also, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the only thing I'll add to that is that we just have a lot of influence in terms of genre and style coming through the band. So we're a reggae band at our core, but we are heavily influenced by R&B and soul and world music, and
Yes.
really no limit to the influence. So
Well,
that,
I saw Joanna's Chaka Khan cover,
mm,
Ain't Nobody. That was fantastic,
yeah, thank
and she definitely has that R&B background that she brings, but in reality, I mean, that's kind of been true with reggae for the last 30 years. I mean, people like Jasmine Sullivan or Tanya Stevens or
all the way back
even
to the Motown days too, honestly, and beyond that, it's
yeah,
always been that crossover.
yeah. I mean, going as far back as Lady Saw, so yes, it's been around, but I'm saying, Joanna, she's got a hell of a sound. She sounds great. So, okay. Um, yeah, here we go. I'm reading my questions here. Um, Joanna's R&B influence that I identified in the songs I heard were Chaka Khan, Diana King, Tanya Stevens, Jasmine Sullivan, and Lauryn Hill. And I'm positive that she listens to that kind of stuff.
And
Um,
she's been digging down to some bluesy kind of moments also, because
yeah.
I think she's, when she does other things outside of this, she's always doing like what, R&B and bluesy kind of thing.
R&B, blues, jazz. I mean, yeah, she's heavily influenced by, like you said, the Erica Badu's, Lauryn Hills of the world. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, blues, rootsy music, Susan Tedeschi. Yeah,
Great.
powerful
All
singers.
right. All right. Now, Mr. Mills,
Sure.
um, I am so excited that you joined us today. Um, just an introduction to the audience here for people who are not familiar with Mr. Mills. In his career, the list of people that you produced for or played with was so long, I could not possibly rattle it off. But I just found the top 10 that people would find interesting. So this is the list I have: Steel Pulse, Sting, Barrington Levy, BDP, Aswad, Smashing Pumpkins, Shinehead, Frankie Paul, Ziggy Marley, Toots Hibbert, and Sly and Robbie.
I
Is
take
that
that.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So,
it's a lot of it production side, but
mhm.
well, coming up in Brooklyn and working out of with the A team with Philip Smart at HCNF Studios, we were prone to work with a lot of those artists. Marcia Griffiths, and we created A team band. Calabash Band, and we, just went on and on. Barry Simon, So I was fortunate. I was always there, on the ground, on the ground, just run the streets. And when I was going to college, my side gig would like to host concerts for promoters. So that led me into working, and then, I left the medicine field and just came straight into music.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'm just saying, out of the 10 that I mentioned, some of those are a heavy lift. I would imagine that Sting is fairly demanding in the studio.
Well, actually,
Guessing.
we did live. We worked. Latest thing worked on was when Shaggy and Sting did the live recording of Frank Sinatra in New York, and with along with Kevin Batchelor, myself, some other guys, we did the live recording at where was it?
Blue Note.
At Blue Note, and
Okay.
they filmed the whole thing, and that was great. But before that, I had history working with Shaggy also in his early career, recording, one of the first guys to record him. So along with Barrington.
Yeah, I love when Shaggy does that freestyle stuff.
Yeah.
And I did notice that the keyboards for the collaboration song you guys did with, was it Peter Morgan?
Oh yes.
Yeah. The keyboards on there were very reminiscent of the old school dancehall I used to listen to. Just very like, trying to push the envelope of like exactly what the sound of the background is really, I really wish reggae artists did that more today. There's not a lot of guys who really want to rant like that.
And Eric Recon, the keyboard player in the band, he's very on top of that stuff too. So we just gel working like that.
Right. Eric Toussaint, who also occasionally plays with the Easy Star All Stars, correct?
He's played with Easy Star. He's played with Jesse Royal. He was just with Queen Ifrica. He's been doing it for many, many years in Brooklyn. Huge shout out to General.
The bass player Derek.
Yeah, Derek.
Yep.
Same thing.
And also, who played in the first album? We got to give him props.
Of course, big Josh Carter, our first bass player. Yeah.
So.
And then Ben, it was like an accomplished guitarist, and then there's
Jose. Yeah, our other guitarist. So we've recently expanded the band from a 5-piece. We've doubled our rhythm section to 2 keyboard players, Mr. Mills and the General, Eric Toussaint on keys, and Finnegan Singer and Jose Lopez both on guitar.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. You opened for Scientists 2 weeks ago at the Knitting Factory in New York City. How did that come about?
Well, that was like a combo, you can tell me what the story is.
Yeah, so we actually performed with Scientist. We didn't open for him. We performed our set, and Scientist mixed and dubbed the set live.
Oh, that must have been awesome.
Almost like a Mad Professor kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's excellent.
Live dub band.
The console in the middle of the audience in the room.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I mean, that guy's a legend, and we're looking forward to working with him. I
would think that if you're a sound engineer who's putting all that together, I would have a heart attack attempting to do that live. I mean, the number of things that could go wrong.
Well, it's something I've been practicing for quite a while. When we were back in the day when we had 18, we just go to Washington, D.C., and he always had that philosophy of working like that. And for a musician who understands how that works, he's the kind of guy, he doesn't want any amplification on stage. So he's trying to studio environment, then there's always that little tussle between the musician and scientist, like, well, I need to hear myself. And he's like,
Yeah.
So once you talk it through, it's a cool thing to do. So listening and listening out front is 2 different experiences.
Right. And you're going to continue that tradition throughout the winter. Is that correct? You're going on a tour with Scientists?
So we're working on some dates for the beginning of the year with Scientists. They have yet to be announced, but definitely stay tuned. We'll be announcing soon.
I know there is buzz. I know there is buzz around the possibility of both of you coming down to Philadelphia. And I will keep my ears and eyes open. You are playing with L&J Sessions
Yeah,
sometime.
so we were just in Beach Haven Island,
Oh, okay.
Haven, New Jersey, this past weekend, and L&J Sessions opened up the show down there for us.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're great guys. I'm gonna see them on Saturday at the Allentown East Rock Roots Food Drive. They're quite a talented group of artists altogether. Okay, and then you're at the Brooklyn Mirage on October 25th.
Indeed. So yes, next Wednesday we are opening the show for our friends Cultura Profetica from Puerto Rico, at a beautiful venue called Brooklyn Mirage in Bushwick, Brooklyn. So if there are still tickets, you should definitely get them quick because it's going to be a huge show. Huge show.
Okay. All right, I think that's everything that I have. Is there anything else you'd like to plug, or any plans that you want to share about Sundub's future?
Sundubmusic.com is the home of Sundub. You can find all the information about the band, the music, our tour dates, and merchandise there. And we are continuing our fall tour through October, November, and some of December. So check out the website. We'll be all around the Northeast, and we would love to see you out there. So yeah, check out Sundub.com and tell your friends, spread the music.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. For the CNB Reggae audience, once again, continue to stay tuned in. I am on a quest to provide original content every month on both the Facebook page and the Instagram page, as well as posting videos to YouTube and recording live performances when I get out to see them. Anyway, stay tuned. Take care. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen.
Thanks, man. Peace.
Yeah, thank you.